Hello. In this episode, I want to share with you 3 thoughts from Proverbs chapter 8, verses 32 through 36, and try and answer the question, how do I gain wisdom? Proverbs 8, 32 through 36 says, "And now, O sons, listen to me. Blessed are those who keep my ways. Hear instruction and be wise, and do not neglect it. Blessed is the one who listens to me, watching daily at my gates, waiting beside my doors. For whoever finds me finds life and obtains favor from the Lord. But he who fails to find me injures himself. All who hate me love death." Proverbs chapter 8 continues with this personification of wisdom as the faithful woman, as the one who ought to be sought out, the one who ought to be embraced and brought close, the one to whom we are faithful. And in this description of what wisdom is like, Solomon gives us a little bit of an indication of how we can gain wisdom just as he had. Here are 3 thoughts on how to gain wisdom from Proverbs chapter 8, verses 32 through 36. Thought number 1, seek out instruction. Now that's pretty obvious, right? If you want to gain wisdom, what do? You go to a person who is wise and you ask them what they think about various subjects, and then you apply all that to your life. That makes perfect sense, doesn't it? That you would seek out wise instruction. This is alluded to in the text when it says, you'll stand by her door. You will wait for her to come out. You will eagerly anticipate where this personification of wisdom is going to be, and you will go to her. That way, you can obtain this wisdom. Seek out instruction. Thought number 2, listen to instruction. It isn't enough just to seek out instruction, but you actually have to listen to it once it's being delivered to you. Has this ever happened to you? Have you ever sought instruction and then when you got it, thought to yourself, I don't really like those instructions, so maybe I'll look somewhere else, or maybe I'll try something different, or maybe I'll follow the recipe exactly, which is a joke between my wife and I, because whenever you look online at recipes, it always says I follow the recipe exactly, except, and then there's all these additions that they made. Listen to the instruction from the wise person. This is something that should be obvious, but again, we mess up. So often, when we are seeking out instruction, what we end up doing is looking for the answer that we've already decided exists. This is confirmation bias. Instead, we should seek out wisdom, and when we find it, we should listen to it. Thought number 3, apply that instruction. So it isn't just enough to look for wisdom, and it isn't just enough to find out and hear what the wisdom is, but you have to actually do the thing that is wise. And this is where a lot of folks fall flat, because you might have found the wise person to give you instruction. You might have heard that instruction, but until you actually do the thing that they said, it isn't going to make a difference. And that wisdom will not be fully attained until you actually apply it in your everyday life. So, what you need to do to gain wisdom is actually execute on the wise things that you have found. Now, for us, we know that the greatest source of wisdom is the text of Scripture. So as we seek to gain wisdom, we ought to go to the text of Scripture, read it, internalize it, listen to it, hear what it's saying, and then apply it, live it out in our everyday life. These 3 thoughts come to you from today's reading, Proverbs 8 and 9. If you'd like to read through the Bible with me, you can do so by joining the Facebook group Through the Bible, where we are reading the text of Scripture together.